Hello, I am PSYLOD, and I just wanted to do another RWBY discussion video because the last video I put out was way more successful than I was originally hoping for it to be. So I just decided after that, hey, you know what, if people are, I guess, liking this kind of discussion and are liking these ideas and liking these kinds of things, then might as well try a little bit more. So this is that's one of the prompts that prompted this video right here to be made. And besides view count and stuff, because I know people will just say, hey, let's capitalize on views, blah blah blah. I wouldn't be making these if I wasn't enjoying this kind of video format. Okay, so today's topic on hand is RWBY Volume 5 and the reunions that have been happening with the separated, or they were separated anyway, the split up members of Team RWBY. So obviously at the end of Volume 3, like making their way into Volume 4, Team RWBY had all split up to find themselves, take their own paths, figure out what they wanted to do, and that's how we're leading into Volume 5, with them now generally decided as to what they want to accomplish. Now they're acting on it, and instead of their paths being split apart, they're kind of all converging into the same spot, which is Haven Academy. So that being said, of course, the first, I guess, 2-3 reunions we've had thus far are Episode 4 and Episode 6, where, yeah, the first to meet up was Yang and Weiss in Raven Branwen's tribal camp, and the next time was Yang and Weiss teleporting. Isn't that funny how they have a convenient teleportation via Raven's semblance? Anyway, they teleport to Haven Academy, or Mistral. And I gotta say, in my opinion anyway, since we're going for these reunions, it's definitely, I think, although everyone has their preferences, but I sort of feel like, I have to say the escalation of emotion that's been presented in both reunions, Yang/Weiss, and then Yang and Weiss and to RWBY. I think both times, at first, Yang and Weiss, it just like, you know, it hit hard for pretty much all of us because it's like we're so happy that they're finally getting back together. But then when it comes to RWBY, I think it raised the bar a little higher. So with that being said, I think that if because Blake, as far as I'm concerned, Blake is just still, I wouldn't say she's fucking around menagerie doing fuck all, but she still has ways to go in terms of actually getting to Mistral and getting back with the rest of her team. Which thank goodness that she's actually, instead of sitting around like she was in Volume 4 feeling sorry for herself, saying that she doesn't deserve friends, at least Sun was able to intervene and show Blake a little bit more of an alternative way of thinking about her friendships. And the only thing I see happening right now with Blake trying to get back with the rest of her team is how Blake was just simply trying to get names for the defense of Haven Academy, but alas, the people of Menagerie, they're not fighters, which is fine, because after all, in the words of Blake,
the faunus here in Menagerie, the ones that weren't born on the island, moved here because they were tired of fighting, of having to struggle constantly. Menagerie is filled with people that just want to be left alone. And here we are asking them to put the rest of the world before themselves.
Now some of you are probably mad because I intentionally put in the thumbnail. I don't know. It's just like I intentionally put in the thumbnail Blake and Yang together, because of course the reason why I put Yang and Blake together, because I know that Blake trying to push herself further and further away in Volume 4 had a big effect with to herself, to Sun, and if Team RWBY, or if the rest of Team RWBY, or RWBY, RWBY Weiss Yang, found out that Blake was trying to push herself further and further away from them, which they kind of did, because at the end of Volume 3, we got a scene with, I'm pretty sure RWBY, Weiss, and Yang were aware of RWBY taking off, because Blake just took off after helping everyone at the Fall of Beacon. It showed Yang and RWBY just conversing as to what happened to Blake, and RWBY's just confused, and Yang's just upset that she just ran, and Weiss, well, she had that guy. Yeah, we're not going to talk about him, are we? No, I don't think so. So with all that being thrown out there, I think the Blake reunion, or Blake's reunion with the remainder of her team, be it if they're in Mistral and they're still preparing for the assholes who are coming to basically blow up Haven Academy. I wouldn't say blow up, but you never know what they'll do again. You never know, we could have another dragon just swoop in and just fuck everyone up, because the dragon, oh, fuck the dragon. Ooh, the dragon. It's like Gorod Krovi, only with, well, RWBY universe. I mean, a little off topic, but dragons have been a thing for a long time for me in terms of a bunch of series that I've been into. Yeah, and these are just to name a few, of course, including RWBY, obviously. I apologize for all that rambling, but just the point I'm trying to make here is that Blake's reunion with the rest of her team has to be, I mean, it has to be like one of the more, I guess, emotional ones out there. Like I said just earlier in the video, or just a couple minutes ago, even if it is in Mistral, if it isn't in Mistral, somehow the reunion has to be really captivating. Has to really hit home with not only the characters as well, because they finally got of course they, it'd be, we're not just gonna carry on with a team called RWBY. RWBY? I mean, really? RWBY? No, I don't think so. Might as well have the B in RWBY, otherwise it ain't Team RWBY, of course. So hopefully that final reunion with Blake is an emotional one. It's very is well executed, and it's something to remember when we look back on Volume 5. When we look at all these reunions, we can finally bicker amongst ourselves. So which reunion was better? The Yang/Weiss reunion, the RWBY Yang Weiss reunion, or all four, or maybe all three don't meet Blake. Maybe one of the members of Team RWBY meet Blake, and then they reunite first. I'd be damned if it was Yang who found Blake first and then took her back to Weiss and RWBY just to see him again. Hopefully Blake isn't too hard on herself when that happens, of course. But I think it's safe to say that all that shit in Volume 3 in the past, that's all past. She's moved past like all her melodrama in Volume 4. So in Volume 5, of course, there's got to be room to warm up again to people. Just getting back with their teammates, accepting the past, and of course moving on. That's the whole motto of the entire thing.
To keep moving forward.
I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this RWBY Volume 5 discussion. If there's any recommendations, like I said this in the last video, but if there's any recommendation or comments you'd like to make to me as to arranging all this stuff, all these RWBY facts, or if there's anything I missed, or if you just want to chat, then of course, you can drop a comment in the comment section. We can have a little chat here and there. And if you'd like, perhaps subscribe to this channel. Not sure how many more RWBY discussion videos I'll do, but if more viewers want more RWBY discussion videos, then of course I'd be obligated to do so. If there's any topics you'd like to see me cover with regards to RWBY Volume 5, then I'll try. Like I said this in the last video, I will say this again. I'll say this eternally. If there's something I don't know, I'll try my best, and this is in any case, school, whatever, blah blah blah. I'll try my best to dig up some research and, of course, present it in a presentable format. Alright, so I'm going to leave now, so once again, thank you for watching. This has been PSYLOD, and I'll see you in the next one. So if you can do any of those, the commenting, the liking, the subscribing, if you'd like to do any of those, then thank you. That's all I gotta say. Just thank you. You are most appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So take care.